Welcome back to the Team to Beat Miami podcast. Bam Adebayo rips the All-Star Game fan voting process. So Miami Heat's forward Bam Adebayo isn't happy with how fans have voted for the 2023 NBA All-Star Game. Bam said, "I'll leave fan voting to fan voting," he said, per Anthony Chang of the Miami Herald. "There are guys that shouldn't even be on that list, but it's fan voting. That's what it is, and you gotta live with that." Adebayo likely won't be an all-star starter after sitting outside the top 10 among Eastern Conference frontcourt players in the latest fan vote, which makes up 50% of the vote for starters. So Bam, who's having an incredible season, the 25-year-old is behind frontcourt players like rookie Paolo Banchero, who's arguably having one of the best rookie seasons that any rookie has had besides a LeBron James, and Brooklyn Nets center Nick Claxton, who's having a breakout year himself, and also players like Austin Reeves on the Lakers, Kevin Looney, and Derrick Rose were among the top 10 vote getters in their category. Other centers that, other forwards that got a higher votes count than Bam also include players like Julius Randle and Kyle Kuzma. So, of course, Bam was never going to be a starter. That was always an uphill battle to get that starting spot, regardless of the fan vote, because 4 players are fighting for 3 openings, and those 4 players are Giannis, KD, Jason Tatum, and Joel Embiid. So one of those 4 superstars are not going to be a starter and will be a reserve with Bam Adebayo. So the former Kentucky star still has a chance again to earn his second All-Star selection as a reserve, which is decided by the coaches. Bam was quoted to say, "Right now I'm in a position where it's based off the coaches in the East. Now that I'm going to be upset about if they tell me somebody else has played better than me this year, considering I'm leading the NBA in paint points," which is kind of crazy, but be honest, and I'm one of the reasons why we're winning games. So Bam is having a career year for him. He's averaging 21.6 points per game, which would be a career high and a major jump from when the last time Bam was an All-Star in the 2019-2020 season, where he averaged 15.6 points per game. So he's been a awesome, well-rounded contributor, playmaker, defender for the Miami Heat this year. So along with his 21.6 points, he's averaging 10.2 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1.1 steals per game. And he's also at a 2.6 defensive win share, which ranks second in the NBA only to the Cleveland Cavs' Evan Mobley. So yeah, I think Bam is definitely deserving to be on the All-Star reserves. Again, I think Claxton and Banchero and Kuzma and Randle have all been great, but objectively, they are not as important to their team, and they are not as good as Bam is as a two-way player who was mainly known for his defense and rebound when he first started in the NBA, and who's then grown each season, and his points per game average has gone up every single season since he's become a starter. So Bam is definitely better, I think, than all the names I mentioned there. Miami also, just again, he's the anchor for this Miami Heat team. He makes the team go. Miami is 9.9 points better per 100 possessions when Adebayo's on the floor versus when he's not, and in non-garbage time situations. That figure ranks in the 93rd percentile among all bigs in the NBA. So these statistical markings have made it clear that Bam is only really behind MVP candidate and former MVP Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid, right? So Bam, I would say, is the 3rd best center in the NBA. So with that said, Bam is one of the NBA's most underrated stars. He's been the MVP of the Miami Heat this season. Jimmy Butler has simply been out too many games. He's missed 30 or so % of the season. So he's not incorrect when he says certain players shouldn't be on that list ahead of him. And so that's not a slight to those players who were voted in the top 10 either. Again, I mentioned they're all having good years, but they don't compare to Bam Adebayo and what he does on both ends of the floor for this Miami Heat. So thanks again for tuning into this video. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe to the channel. I'll talk to everyone soon. Thanks.